Hello, Sooner Nation, and others like Bradley, Ole Miss Hottie Toddy, and Scott V for the Tennessee Volunteers. The more SEC fans on here, the better, I guess. Welcome to the Sooner Surge. It's our nightly 9:30 show. Each and every night, we're on here. You're on here. It's great. I'm Jeremy. That's Jason, and we're live here as we always are. Jay, what's up?
What's up, man? Happy Sunday night to everybody. We are closer to football in Oklahoma and specifically next weekend. There's games. So really this is a game week, not for Oklahoma, but it is for some schools. So it's here. I mean, there's no more talking about it. I guess for 2 weeks you can, but it's here. Season's here. And I want to get real quick before we get to the Andrew Anthony, I want to get to this from Colin. And this might be a hot take that I'm going to start this off with. Colin says, from the band member, the band is bringing back the Hey song for home games like we had back in the days. Norman just got more hostile. Jeremy, the Hey song, you know it. We were in band. I am really glad they're bringing that back. First off, okay, I'm glad. But I never have thought ever, and I played that song for years, Jeremy, in the band.
I know what you're going to say.
I have never felt that song as being a hostile song at all. And in fact, when I hear that song, it mainly takes me to basketball.
And I'm with Bobby. I'm with Bobby. Listen, it's Jay. I agree. It's more of a basketball song.
That's right.
Jay, it's more of a basketball. It's more of a basketball song. And listen, I saw that was announced today. You know what I started thinking of, Jay?
What?
2 nights ago on this live, I kind of said part of the issue is all OU does is Boomer Sooner. They need something else. And then 2 nights later, they come up and say they're going to do this. Are they watching the show or what? If you are, let's add something else. Something more raucous. It's a step in the right direction, but you need more hype.
It is a great step to bring that back. I would agree with that. When I think hostile, I don't think that song. Keaton, I think this is Keaton. I like this comment. And then want to get Bobby's got a good comment too. I agree. That's when I played that song, Bobby. Keaton says, I wish OU fans would get as hype as Dortmund does in soccer. These crowds are maniacs. Listen, the soccer crowds are, okay? But you know what soccer has that football really hasn't figured out yet, in my opinion, for the most part? They don't have any music most of the time. It's just chants. It's loud chants from the crowd. They do it themselves.
But Jay, I'll tell you what soccer fans have that Norman, Oklahoma doesn't. Enough passionate fans. Guys, chants are great, but in order for a chant to actually work, every single person has to be psychotic when they're saying it. I don't think that's going to happen in Norman.
What's up, Hookem? Thanks for joining tonight. I do too. I hope OU and Texas go in there and look really good the first year. That would be great. What's up, Bob? How are you? Wisconsin.
And it's not.
That's a legit one.
It's nothing against the band because the band brings energy, but it's more about the people in the stands.
Here's what I think with that song, the Hey song. I've been at games, and I don't think this is just even an OU thing. A lot of times when that song is played, during the song, people are kind of doing their own thing. When it's time to yell at, hey, it's nothing like, I don't ever see it just out of control crazy. Do you?
No, Jerry. No, I don't.
But hey, I am glad they're bringing something back from the past, and it does have, we're going to beat the, you know what, out of you. So, I mean, it is a little bit, I would say a little bit, it's a positive for sure. It's just, I don't think the word hostile and crazy environment goes with that song.
No, but I will say having more night games should help with the atmosphere. I think that alone will help. Secondly, I hope being in the SEC helps. I hope that.
Hey, Lori, that's great. I've never had the chocolate. I did have one 2 weeks ago for my daughter's birthday, and I had the lemon. Lemon's the best.
I had lemon.
Bar none.
Our school was treated with some the other day, and I had one. Yeah, hey, jump around. You ask any modern-day Sooner fan who was in there at that game in the Palace on the Prairie, that's got to be the top one.
I think my thing is, I mean, because I've seen a lot of people on Twitter just going nuts for this Hey song, and I don't see it as a just, oh my gosh, OU's figured out how to get a hostile and pumped up crowd now with that song. And Jeremy, we may be just wrong on this subject. I don't know. I don't think I am, but
I do think a song can really. I mean, I've been in stadiums singing. What is the Garth Brooks song? All my friends in low places. I've been in a stadium singing Sweet Caroline. It's a great feel. I wouldn't call it a raucous feel. Either one of those. They're cool feelings. They're cool feelings. They're great environments. It's not raucous. It's not like crap. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this playoff because of how loud it is in here.
Jerm, do you have your trumpet close by?
I don't. Are you wanting to hear me play it?
Well, I thought we could play it for everybody. Lori says sing the Hey song. I'm not going to sing it, but we can play it on trumpet. Mine's not available. It's
Hey, everyone knows it. Dun dun dun. Hey.
Hey.
Da 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 da. Hey.
Everybody
That's
knows
it. And it's a basketball song. Okay, it's a basketball song.
Well, hey, and I saw Friends in Low Places from Hunter. Alabama plays that a lot. But
Doesn't Alabama play Dixieland Delight, I thought.
They do the Dixieland Delight too. Hey, Eric and Gary, are y'all saying that because you agree that that's what I thought? And I think
they realize what the Hey song is.
It's not a Hunter. Do you agree or disagree with us right now, Hunter? I think you disagree with us right now.
Hunter disagrees.
Hunter, if you want to jump on here and argue your point on this, that's fine. But I just don't think it's a pump song.
Guess what else I heard OU's bringing back?
What's that?
The Thriller song.
Thriller from Michael Jackson?
Yep, we're going to play that too, probably. You know, it's high schoolish too.
Yeah, Tennessee plays it. They hate it there, it says.
Hey, I will say this, and Colin was the one that originally said this, and Colin's in the band. No one here is saying that's the band's problem. The band's going to play in an elite way, okay? We're just talking about the song.
I'm a band guy. The band's great. I'm not blaming the band either. And
I'm a band guy.
I'm fine with them bringing that song back. Just don't act like what I've seen on Twitter and stuff is this is, oh my gosh, Oklahoma hostile environment is back, baby, all over Twitter.
Ryan Vincent came from our TikTok. Thank you, Ryan.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Ryan. Appreciate it. Hey, every night at 9:30 we're on here, so hope you come back. Try to get as many comments as we do. I want to do a poll, Hunter. Start a poll right now. Start a poll and ask in the chat the Hey song. Do you think that's a pumped up, hostile song?
They're laughing at my giving him money. Yay! Hey,
please don't do that again.
Thunderstruck. I like Inner Sandman. No, it's not going viral. It probably should because it might put a stop to the give me the money crap.
I don't know if tub thumping to open the fourth quarter with a jump. Bradley,
hey, Jay,
there's not one person in there that says that they feel like that's a pump hype song. So,
Jay, if you look at Twitter tonight, Sooner fans are losing their mind thinking it's amazing.
That's my issue.
Maybe we're just in the minority, Jay.
But Jeremy, that's my issue, and I think that's why. Are they ready? Are we ready, fan-wise, for the SEC?
Maybe we're in the minority, or could it be the Surgeaholics are right, like they always are?
Bobby, you're not wrong there. And let me say this: do you know what the very first thing that came into my mind when I heard the Hey song, other than basketball? You know what it was?
What's that?
OSU.
OSU's high schoolish, yes.
That's what came into my mind when I heard that.
OSU's environment is an extension of high school football.
Eric says yes.
OU's environment. Now, OU's environment seems to be more like a retirement center sometimes.
Ask something important, Dakota. We're here for you. Eric
We're
says,
always
yes,
here.
Boom Squad. What is Sheck West? Do you even know what that is?
Jay, these songs I don't know anything about. I'm not suggesting a song. What's the one that has the bells, Jay? Hell's Bells?
Hell's Bells.
That usually gets the fans pretty hyped.
Now, I will say this to Cullen's defense. As a band guy, I loved playing that song.
Oh, I love playing it.
I've seen where they are ranked ahead of OU in some issues. I mean, in some rankings, yes.
Colin, if you're still on here, Colin, and not upset because we said something about the Hey song, hop on here, Colin, and tell us what the overall, because you're on campus, tell us the perception of everything.
There's still, hey, if I had to play one song before a game to get me going, do you know what it would be?
What?
It would be Lose Yourself, Eminem.
Yeah, I mean, I like that one a lot.
Play Lose Yourself before the game, and I'll lose myself, okay?
Hey, let's be real here, though. The before the game, when they're playing music on the louds, most players are listening to their own music. This is about getting the fans rockets. Has nothing to do with the players. And I guess you got to play old country songs for OU's fans because that's who's there.
No, I think there's Jeremy. There's nothing wrong with playing old country songs. Alabama plays songs like what is it, Sweet Home Alabama and stuff.
It's got to be the one that fits right, Jay.
I agree. I mean, we're getting a lot of stuff in here for songs. Does nobody like Lose Yourself? I mean, I think it's a great song. Is that too old?
Yeah, Sheck West is the artist. Boom Squad, I guess.
I'm gonna check that out when I get off here tonight. Sheck West.
Yeah, I don't know, Jane. I think we lost Colin. Colin's not on here commenting. I think we ticked Colin off.
Why?
Bashing the Hey song, Jay. Well, hey, one thing we always do here on the Sooner Surge is we're honest. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. We're honest. I think it's a basketball song.
Well, I think the issue is if you look, I mean, even on Twitter, most of the people, OU fans, are like pumped for this. I think we went the other direction. And I think some people just don't like that. Okay.
Jay,
but
it's a tradition like any other, I guess is what some of the OU fans are going to say.
You a Jelly Roll guy, Jeremy?
I hadn't been, but I'm starting to like some of the stuff that I've heard.
How about Post Malone going country? You a fan?
Absolutely.
Seven Nation Army.
Dax, welcome back, Dax.
Dax, that's a good one. They play that with the OU chant. I like that one. I like that. But anyway, what else are we going to talk about tonight? We don't want to talk the whole show.
I've got one. I've got something to talk about.
What's that?
I read an article. I'm sure Sooner fans.
Oh, this is a good topic. Good topic.
I read an article written by Clay Horning, I think. Clay Horning wrote the article. It was published, I believe, today. And the title, I don't know off the top of my head. I'm going to paraphrase it. It's something about is Brent Venables' style of muzzling the assistants working out. Clay Horning was pretty critical, and I have to say that I kind of agree with Clay Horning. Like, I don't get why there's been a hush-hush, and you're not being able to hear from a lot of the coaches, Jay. That could backfire is what Clay Horning's saying.
Well, here's the deal. You go back to when Brent Venables hired after Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley did not allow a whole lot of media access. Brent Venables came in, opened up the media, had more people at practice, had the coordinators talking every week on Mondays before he did on Tuesdays, I believe is the way it was set up. It was Jeff Levy and Ted Roof on Mondays, Brent Venables on Tuesdays. All that changed, if you don't remember, after the Levy incident. Did it not? Is that when it all just went the other direction?
Yeah, Jay, that's when it went. I mean, that's when it just.
So, I don't think it's going back anytime soon. Here's what I'll say to that, though. I did not read the article, but I'll say this. I do think it's not fair for the coordinators because I think development-wise, if you're wanting to be a head coach, I think answering media's questions is an important part of it. I mean, that's a big step when you become a head coach is talking to the media. So I do think that aspect of it is kind of maybe doesn't help develop those guys.
Yeah, it's a tough subject. Everyone's still talking about songs here, Jay. Hey,
Tyler's got a birthday tonight, I think I saw.
really? Happy birthday, Tyler.
What Monty said.
I think we try to be very demure here, Jay.
Very what?
I think we do our best to be very demure here on the Sooner Surge.
I have no clue what demure is.
I guess you're not a TikToker.
What is demure?
We're demure, Jay. Very demure. I'm just going to leave it at that. Anyone on here who's on TikTok? Yeah, stay off it. Everyone knows what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Exactly. Showing your age, Jay. I'm a TikTok trend guy. Very demure. Jason, you're not demure. I'm very demure.
I don't even. But are you Sigma? That's the question.
Absolutely.
Okay. Moving on.
Jay, someone asked earlier about
Tyler from Altus, Monty said.
Someone asked about no, I didn't break out the source. Someone asked about Andrew Anthony on the graphic, Jay.
Yeah, not a whole lot to discuss about it. I think he's gonna play a lot this year and get back into the starting role. I just don't know if it'll be game one. Right?
Yeah. I actually look, if he's practicing fully, he'll play in game one.
Bobby says, Jay, you think that plays into it, not putting them out there for other schools to find out? I don't think that's it. I don't think they're not putting them out there for that aspect. I'm just saying I think it hinders their development, though, to be a head coach. I'm not saying they're doing it to hide him because they don't want other people to see how good he is with the press. I think it's more the fact that they're doing it probably because they just don't want them to have to answer some questions. I don't know the reasoning, guys. I don't know. I'm not there.
Do you think we're going to hear from the coordinators this year like we did last?
I thought the answer is already no to that. Is it not?
I haven't heard officially.
Now, I think if you have the OU the Sooner Sports on ESPN Plus, I think you'll get them and they do that little coaches segment. I don't know if you watch that, Jeremy, during the weeks. Chris Plank and I think Gabe's on there. They pick two coaches every week. You'll get them in that aspect. I'm just saying you won't get them where they get questioned after games and stuff like that. Bobby says he would protect
and that's the other
at all costs.
That's the
other way of this, and that's true, Bobby.
You could say, yeah, he's protecting. They're having more time to meetings. They're not having to spend an hour doing that.
That's true.
So I get that part of it, and knowing BV's kind of MO, that's probably it.
Well, and I saw a comment in here, control freak, somebody said. You know what? Sometimes as a leader, sometimes a control freak isn't a bad thing. Sometimes it is. It depends on how much.
It very well can be.
It can be, but it's not always, Jeremy.
If the leader of an organization is gone and the organization can't continue to run without him, that's a bad leader.
That's not what we're dealing with here, Jeremy.
Right. I agree.
So, okay.
Hey, Ron, if Temple plays OU within 10, Friday night, August 30th, may be the most chaotic Sooner Surge live show in history.
Yeah. Oh, it would be brutal. Mess. I saw the clip today. I watched probably half of the Teddy and Gabe Oklahoma breakdown today. And the stuff they were saying about Boganowski, I mean, we talked about Boganowski, maybe a week ago, Jeremy, where we were talking about him. And I think he could be on any Power 4 team and on the cusp of playing this year. And he's going to play this year. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Now, we're going to have to address this Greg God thing here in a minute. But Boganowski, Jeremy, physical tools, absolutely sounds like he just destroys people in the run game. Just absolutely destroys people. Which, when was the last time? Who would you say is the last guy they had back there that just would just light people up? Would you go all the way back to Brandon Average, or would you say
Average was a guy that was that? But Jake, can I say this? Because about 3 nights ago we had this discussion when you said Boganowski is on the cusp of starting at any Power 4. And all I said, before people think, oh, I'm not high, I am so high on Boganowski, it's ridiculous. However, I'm going to say hold our horses. I think Boganowski is going to play a lot, and I think the majority is going to be at special teams early on. Now, I think he's going to play some in the secondary, but the guys that they have back there, they're pretty loaded. So if they're going to play 4 or 5 guys, yeah, he's going to play. But I agree with what Greg got said too. Freeman was so much talked about last year; it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and if you remember, Boganowski and Everidge are totally different because Everidge was not very big.
What's Boganowski's size again, Jay?
I don't know if Hunter can, I don't want to misquote it. Hunter can pull it right up, but
I believe he's the tallest safety we got.
Everidge was small for a safety, I thought. But he hit like he was 6'5", 250. I mean, he was a monster hitter. Wasn't there a guy, I mean, do you think, I'm trying to think, 6'2", 211.
Yeah, he's got great height.
Brodney Poole. What about Brodney Poole?
Brodney Poole was not 6'2".
No, I'm saying
Tony Jefferson was probably 6'1". I would be compared to him. And yeah, Boganowski's dad is an Army vet. He's been around football forever. So I'm so high on Boganowski, but let's start the season before we get to that. But Jay, Dalpoa says they were talking a lot about Andy Bass. I haven't seen the episode. So what were they saying? I don't think Andy Bass plays it down this year.
There's no way he can recover from that injury and play much this year, I don't think.
I think he's a great physical guy and going to have some great ability, but I don't think he's getting on the field.
I got a question for you. I saw it in the chat talking about Freeman. I know it wasn't a trade, but it was a year difference. But who got the better end? Freeman to OSU or OU getting Ford? Better end of that.
It's probably going to be Freeman.
I think so.
And Jay, because Trace Ford really was non-existent last year.
I think Trace Ford will play this year, but he won't play nearly as much as last year, right?
Jay, good call. Brodney Poole was about the exact same height.
Sometimes I know what I'm talking about, not very often. But he was a pretty good hitter. Hey, Chad, he's absolutely a fast guy. He's absolutely a fast guy. Hunter, you watched him in high school. He's legit.
I'm not going to say he's a speedster, though.
He's fast, Jeremy.
And hey, easy. This is what I don't understand. And I didn't watch it, so maybe I won't even say it.
Just say what you're thinking.
People will take it the wrong way, but how can you say in the same sentence that Boganowski's unbelievable, all this stuff, and then say, but if I was buying stock, it'd be in Andy Bass? What?
Well, they were talking about freshmen.
Boganowski's a true freshman, Jay.
Yes, so is Andy Bass.
But Boganowski, according to Teddy and Gabe and everyone, says he's going to play a lot. So I would think that's who you buy stock in. But Ron says he's a 10.
I don't see him playing it down either.
Ron says he's a 10-7 guy. I didn't think Bass was 10-7.
Hey, and Monty's got a great
That's
point.
fast.
Monty's got a great point. Guys, you have a special teams coach now with Durkin. You have all kinds of athletic talent in skill positions. I mean, you can go down the list at different positions where they're deep in. If they don't have an outstanding coverage team on special teams and they don't have a good return team, then either A, the guy they hired for special teams ain't it, or B, they're not playing the right guys on special teams. They got too much talent to not be good in special teams. Look at last year. They played Peyton Bowen on special teams. I know he had one punt block. I want to say he had 2. Was it 2 or 1?
I believe he had 1, and I was totally wrong. Look, we had Andy Bass that came on our show last year, Jay, after he committed. He's great. I love everything about Andy Bass. I was wrong. I thought he was a 4-5 guy and a 10-8, 10-9 guy. I was wrong. He's faster than I thought. But he's still not going to play this year coming off an ACL surgery probably.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't see how he's going to play and get rebound.
Love the guy.
I think he's really good too, but I don't know how.
Jay, give me 6 athletic freaks that you would. when you're talking athletic freaks, I mean, I'm going to throw a name out there, and people are going to disagree that he's an athletic freak, though. Hey, but some names that come up to me when I think about that as an athletic.
Are you talking about athletic freaks on this year's team?
Yeah, I think Lewis Carter's one.
Yeah. Danny Okoye.
Danny Okoye's one. You already mentioned Boganowski, Reggie Powers. And I'm going to throw one from last year, though. That's not from the last couple of years. That's an athletic freak and never gets criticized more than anything. It's Jaren Kanak.
PJ's a good one, Eric.
PJ's a good one. Jaren Kanak's an athletic freak.
Yeah, EPL's another good one. I mean, just watch him run track. Kanak can do a lot of things as far as athleticism. I'm not going to argue.
Hey, look, we don't even need to say it because our viewers are saying it. Hit the like button, join Discord, grab a shirt of the month club at the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com. And speaking of Fan Stop, can Boganowski play Cheetah, Jay?
I absolutely think he can.
Is he going to, though?
I don't think so. I see him coming in and playing safety because of his run stopping ability. I think he's legit in that. But I don't know. I mean, they could move him. Maybe they're going to move Bowen down there to Cheetah. Maybe they're going to open up a spot back there for him there. Maybe they're going to move our. I don't know. That's the one thing I don't think anybody knows what Zach Alley and Brent Venables is going to do in the back seven. It's a very unique situation they have there in the back seven. Do we even know? Does anybody even know who they're starting a linebacker right now? Probably not.
No, we don't. And Dalpo thinks that Grayson Halton's going to be the best interior D lineman playmaker. If that's the case, then OU is in a really good spot because, in my opinion, I got Dominique Williams and Terry as the two dudes there. But hey, quick announcement. You do need to check out the Fan Stop at thefanstop.com and sign up for the Shirt of the Month Club. I know Tyree did. He got the premium package. Use our code SURGE for 10% off your first 3 months. But, Jay, next Sunday night, everybody, Surgeaholics, Steve Stutzman will start his weekly Sunday night appearance with us on the Sooner Surge. We are so stoked to break down Saturday's games with Steve Stutzman. This week, we'll just look ahead to that first game against Temple. But we've got some great things around the corner, and it starts this Sunday night. Make sure you're on.
That's right. I'm excited about that. I wasn't on when he was on the last time. And it is going to be great to recap the game, but also it's going to be great to hear it from somebody who's kind of in the scenes and behind the scenes a little bit with a son at Oklahoma and a highly touted guy. So it's going to be great stuff. He'll have some great insight for sure. He also played college football at Baylor. That's correct. I saw a lot of people talking about Jacoby Johnson, athletic freak. Yes, I would agree with that. A guy asked about McCarty. He's back from injury. He's still coming back. Same. I love McCarty, Jay. Jaden Rose the same way. I just don't know. I would say Jaden Rose has a higher chance to play than McCarty, in my opinion. Steve Stutzman is our mole. The Mole was one of the best reality shows ever made. Okay, loved it. That was Anderson Cooper before he became Anderson Cooper. Yes. Maybe some NIL talks. I don't know. We'll see what Steve wants to talk about. Hey, I got something else, Jay, I want to bring up the last 15 minutes or so. Okay. And to me, Woody Washington, I read an article. We bashed all these preseason awards, right? Yeah. Woody Washington wasn't even on any of them. Woody Washington played with CeeDee Lamb. And Woody Washington's been around forever. He's gone up against great receivers in practice. He's played in great bowl games. He was the guy who came in against LSU. You remember that's kind of when he started that 1 year. I mean, to me, I think people are a little low on. I think people have given up on Woody Washington, wrongfully so. I know you're one of those, Jay. I haven't given up on Woody Washington, Jeremy. It's a thing where, I mean, looking at last year, who was the best cornerback last year when healthy? Actually, Woody Washington was really good last year. Gentry Williams. And Woody Washington was really good until the bowl game. Jeremy, who was the better cornerback last year when they were healthy, though?
I mean, Gentry had more interceptions, Jay. But Jay,
answer the question I'm asking you.
They didn't throw to Woody Washington's way when Gentry played. They kept picking on Gentry. He made plays.
But Jeremy, Gentry Williams made plays all over the field.
I get it, Jay. I get it. I'm saying Woody Washington, outside of a few plays, was phenomenal last year.
Jeremy, I think if Gentry Williams is healthy, I think he's probably a top two second round draft pick.
If he is healthy, is a big thing, Jay.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't think Woody Washington has the ceiling to get that high.
I agree, Chief. I think he's more of a man guy. And Eric, go back and watch. He got cooked a couple of times against Arizona, but for the majority of last year, he was spot on phenomenal.
And don't put words in my mouth. I've never said Woody Washington's awful and can't play cornerback. I just said, and you can look it up as fact. Go look. Playmaking, he didn't make any last year. Now you can
make
argue
any plays.
I mean, when I say playmaking, I mean say interceptions, recover fumble, hard tackles for losses. All I'm saying
he did get much better at tackling.
No, I think he's a good tackler. I'm just saying it didn't show up. It didn't show up in the stats anywhere. Because yes, you're right. To his benefit, I mean, they didn't throw at him a lot. That's
they didn't, Jay. Why is that?
I think he's good coverage most of the time. I think he's good coverage most of the time.
I think he can cover well man on man.
But I don't think he came back to just cover man on man, Jeremy. He even said that. He wants to play multiple positions and be a little more active this year. Did he not? That was one of his things for coming back.
And Dwayne,
I do think this year we'll see more of Woody Washington making plays. I do.
Dwayne joining us from Facebook says Woody Washington plays the harder position, field corner. I hate zone defense, Jay. I hate the zone.
Do you think they're going to play the same amount of zone, or do you think they're going to knock it back a little bit?
I don't know. I wish they would knock it back a little bit. And you're right, Mark. Jaren Kanak is not a get my head on a swivel, get in the right area. Jaren Kanak's a guy that goes, boom, straight down. You cannot play Jaren Kanak in his zone defense. You can hire as many analysts as you want.
Yeah, no on that, Chief. None. No.
See, hey. I'm higher on Woody Washington and Jaren Kanak than probably anyone on here.
Yeah, and hey, Kanak can definitely. Here's the thing. I think part of the issue is you take things like when I say Kanak not starting or whatever. All I'm saying is this: it's not that Kanak can't play. It's that sometimes, and it's not that Woody's an awful cornerback. Sometimes you have talent coming in that's elite. Okay. And they have some young talent that's just really, really good. I mean, what can you say? People are talking about Eli Bowen, Jeremy. He's a freshman.
I don't like the zone, Jay. If you ask most Sooner fans, what's one thing you would change about their defense? They'd say, get out of zone coverage. Get out of it. Now, there are a lot of good teams that play zone coverage. OU's not the only one.
It's a fine line because we've talked about this before. If you're going to play a zone, even Brent Venables has said this. If you're going to play a zone, it's got to be an aggressive zone. Zone does not mean like in basketball sometimes where you just sit back and let them shoot. That's not what a zone is in football. It's got to be an aggressive zone.
Lori, thanks for asking. We have not given an update on our dad in a while. His birthday, 84th birthday was last week. That was good. Physically, he's kind of leveled out. He's about the same. But it's just hard mentally, and losing some of that capability is difficult. But yeah, appreciate you asking. Yes, I think one hits 1,000.
Yeah, we said we did a video, I think, covering this to be released this week about running backs. But if they don't have a running back rush for 1,000 yards, this team will not hit the goals they want to hit. I don't think they could go 9-3 even without a 1,000-yard rusher. Somebody needs to separate themselves.
And Eric, I want press man coverage too. And here's the thing: if you can play press, first off, you can play press coverage if your D line is better, and it's supposed to be, and your corner room's good, and it is. So you can do it.
Boom Squad thinks Barnes is going to get passed up. He's on the side of Barnes getting passed up. There's a lot of people right now buying Barnes to pass up Sawchuk. Boom Squad's on the side that he's going to get passed up by Hicks or Tatum. possibly. So that's interesting.
Lack of physicality is the other thing that a lot of people.
Hey, we have probably maybe 10 or 15 minutes here. We've talked what, 4 months now off season. Seems like we've been talking football. And every year in fall camp, there's one or two guys that are crowned as the guy to watch for in Oklahoma football in the fall. And a lot of times, maybe more times than not, that player doesn't even do much at all. Here's my question. Give me one guy that you think that is this year, that a lot of people are talking about, that is not going to do much at all.
Well, Chief's talking about Tatum being RB1 by Tennessee. I know that doesn't answer your question. Gregod said Barnes is still on trial and if he's going to be good. A guy that is talked a lot about, I already know what a lot of people are going to say. A lot of people are going to say Jackson Arnold probably.
A lot of people are saying Bauer Sharp. That'd be a problem if he's not very good because they don't have a whole lot there.
I think they've got more depth than people think. We just don't know if any of these guys can do it. Jay, a guy that maybe a lot of people are talking about, and maybe he's not, is Jacob Sexton. I mean, I think Sexton's going to be really good. So
he played last year, though. He was good last year.
Nick Anderson could be a name that people say, well, they're all talking about. I think he is going to be good. So I don't even know if I have a name, Jay, honestly.
I got a name for you.
Let's hear it.
And I don't want to this is based off of recent things I've heard about starting offensive lineman, starting tackle, Michael Tarquin. I was not sold when they got Tarquin out of the.
No one's high on him, dude.
There's a lot of people high right now on him.
Maybe your people. I don't know anyone who's high on him.
Jeremy, did you think he would start?
I didn't know who would start on this line, Jay, and I don't know if he is starting.
It sounds like he's going to be a starter.
Okay, then maybe he's earned it. We'll see.
And that's just it. That's what we don't know. I'm just saying he's the guy that I think people are saying is really looking good right now. But he's one of those guys I got to see it on game time.
Hey, Dalpois, I hear a lot about Helms. Now that I'm on TikTok with the Sooner Surge, I see Helms I see a lot more of Helms now that I'm on TikTok.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
I was being facetious. Eric said Gabe Eichert's been praising him.
Yeah, there's been a lot of people praising him on stuff I've seen.
Look, he's massive, dude, and he's played at USC in Florida. So is he going to? I don't know, Jay.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I have to see it.
Bobby thinks he's a sixth man.
Hey, Bobby, then who do you got as the tackles? Who do you have as the tackles? I do not think, if Helms is healthy, Michael, if Helms is healthy, do you think he will start? I don't think he'll start. I think Bauer Sharp starts. I do think he's big enough physically that he can be the second guy with Jake Roberts, ahead of Jake Roberts, I think. Bobby, if I were to pick a starting line, those would be my two tackles too. I'm with 100%. Those would be my tackles if they're healthy.
People are saying Spencer Brown's looking good over Taylor.
Taylor, I think Taylor and Sexton are the guys if they're healthy. I would agree with that. Okay, here's another great question. Talking about offensive line here. What game do you have to have them set by?
Tennessee, it's the best defensive line you're going to see all year.
You don't think they need to be set before that?
Jay, they could be set, but it doesn't mean that that's the guys that need to play against Tennessee is what I'm saying. They may have 5 guys roll out there the first 3, and those guys look pretty good, and OU's getting some points, and they're going to get in the Tennessee game, and these Tennessee D linemen are going to show them maybe they're not as good, and they got to have guys ready to plug in.
I'm with Greg God. You got to have them a game before that. You got to have
you don't understand what I'm saying.
I understand exactly what you're saying. You don't need to get all riled up. I know exactly what you're saying.
Just because you have got 5 guys in the non-con means nothing. If Tennessee destroys them, you got 5 guys sitting on the bench. They need to bring them in that game. You can't just say, well, these are the 5 and so be it.
All I'm saying is the 5 that you're going to play against Tennessee, I think they need to play together against Tulane.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Bill Beatenbow is going to have to be quick to yank some in that game if he needs to.
Well, I think that it's the
when I hear the word set. When I hear the word set, I think that it's set in stone like cement set. I think this line could be a working line. Dalpost wants a trivia. We need to start a new trivia tonight. I agree. You got to have cohesion. You got to have cohesion. But if they're not getting the job done, you've got to bench them. AKA, Caden Green did it last year. They brought him in.
Scott Hickman is a little banged up. That's a fact.
Everett's ahead of schedule, though.
Yes.
We got a trivia, Jay?
Hey, and real quick on this. Do you ever think Bill Beatenbow gets guys and they come from another school and he's like, wow, I don't know who's been coaching them, but they are all jacked up. I think he does probably think that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do I have a trivia? No, I didn't have one for tonight, but we can get one.
I've got one, and no one's going to like it, but I'm doing it right now.
Okay.
OU basketball trivia because the Hey song. And by the way, Colin has not been on here since you destroyed them, Jay.
I didn't destroy anybody.
Listen.
I said my opinion. That's not destroying anybody.
Hunter, it's not Hallmark tonight. Hunter, keep tabs. Here we go.
Jeez.
OU beat Duke in Cameron Indoor Stadium under Billy Tubbs. I believe it was Billy. Yeah, Billy Tubbs. Who was the guard that just went off that game? War number 4. The Hey song was played a lot in that arena.
I know the answer to this, but I didn't think they won that game. I thought they lost. But
oh, did we lose that game?
I know the answer, though.
It was not Mookie. Mookie was number 10. Wasn't Mookie 10?
Yes.
Maybe they lost, but this guard was
10 or 11. 10 or 11. Mark got it. Littlefield.
Mark Littlefield got it. Angelo Hamilton. That is correct.
Longer.
Longer.
Yeah. Angelo Hamilton. That's correct. Good job, Mark, on the trivia. You get the point.
Nice job, Mark.
And by the way, Colin, I just want to say, if you're on here.
He's not, Jay. He left.
Listen, if you are, get back on here. Comment. I mean, please, guys. It was an opinion. This is Jeremy's calling me out for making people mad. I didn't even say.
I was just kidding you, Jay.
You yell all the time.
Ricky says Tarquin was out of position at USC. And look, I'm going to trust what Beatenbow does. I'm just saying you've got to be quick to yank some guys out if they're not getting the job done against Tennessee, because Tennessee is really, really good. Yeah, Cameron crazies are crazy. They're different.
Yeah, that's right. Anything else tonight?
I think that's about it, Jay.
Jeremy,
it wasn't even me. That's what's funny. It's always going to be me. It's always me. Hey, I've been very demure here tonight. Okay?
Demure. I'm going to have to go look that up after the show.
You absolutely will. Hey, thanks, everyone. We've got some extra content coming out this week, breaking down offensive position rooms. Those will be going out each and every day. Also, we'll still be on every single night at 9:30. So see you guys tomorrow night. It'll be a great Monday. Can't wait till tomorrow night at 9:30. See you next time.